Hey guys, what's going on? Paul here. Welcome back to another Cardano video. So a few different bits today, but a lot of it centered around yield farming opportunities that will be coming fairly soon as well. So I done a video just over a week ago. For anyone who hasn't seen it, I will put a link below where I went through staking, providing liquidity, yield farming, what it all means, and the risks rewards associated with each. So we see Minswap are going to launch on mainnet in just under 2 weeks. They've also got something called a liquidity bootstrapping event. So this launch is going to bring yield farming opportunities with it as well. So we'll go through them. Milkomeda is getting closer to launching. I will be sitting down talking to them this week. I'll give a brief introduction here as well. We see World Mobile listing on a top exchange as well. So look, timestamps will be below for anyone who wants to go to certain sections. If you think others can benefit, please do share the video out there. Let me know down below what you want me to cover in the next few videos as well, or just leave a comment to help with the algorithm. Give the video a like and let's jump into it. Okay, we'll start out here first with the announcement that World Mobile is going to list on Kucoin on Wednesday morning. So great to see them listing on one of the top exchanges out there right now. And it's great to see Kucoin listing more Cardano native assets as well. So this will bring more attention to World Mobile. People who follow the channel here for a while know I'm a big fan of what World Mobile are trying to do and the vision that they have. I've had different members of the team on at different stages. I also have a node reserved within the network. So as soon as they launch that, I will be running the node within the network as well. Another added benefit for me personally for this as well is that because TradingView, which is the software that I use for charting, tracks every pair on Kucoin, it means that going forward after this, we will be able to keep track of the World Mobile token, the price over on TradingView as well. So they are listed on centralized exchanges already, but TradingView right now doesn't track any of them. So great to see progress here, and there's lots of other updates going on with World Mobile as well. So I will have to get someone back on at some stage, or I might just do a summary video myself fairly soon if that's what people would like to see. So next up, we have Milkomeda, not sure the pronunciation, but I am sitting down with the team this week to have a talk about it. So that video will come out maybe Wednesday or Thursday. I will have an interview with the team to find out a bit more about what it is. On a high level, it's a layer 2 protocol that's delivering EVM capabilities to non-EVM blockchains. So they're doing this for Cardano, Solana, and Algorand. And this comes from the guys over at DC Spark, who people within Cardano, lots of you might be familiar with DC Spark and some of the team members there because they've been around Cardano a long time and contribute a lot to Cardano as well. So Milkomeda, there will be lots of different dApps launching on top of that, so it will bring lots more opportunities as well. I would say keep an eye out for them, follow them there as well, and later this week, hopefully you'll get a bit of a better insight into them as well when I have them on the show to ask some questions about what they are, when we can expect them. On a high level, there will be dApps, all different types of dApps launching there, from DEXs to money markets to lots of different things that will bring risks and opportunities with them as well. So we'll get into all of that when I have a chat with the guys later this week. So then on to Minswap and the LBE, the mainnet launch, the liquidity bootstrapping event. And actually, just before I do that, for anyone who hasn't seen the DEX, this is the testnet. I will put a link to this down below. In just under 2 weeks now, they're going to launch on mainnet. So fairly similar setup to most DEXs, most standard DEXs out there, where you have your overview, you have your swap, liquidity, farming. So if you go into swap, you select the pair you want, select the token you want to swap to. So let's say I want to swap to TMIN. And I want to swap 100 TATA to TMIN. And you can see, like lots of other ones, it gives you the details down here of what it's going to be. Click on swap. Again, details, confirm swap. You get the pop-up. You can see I have CC Vault connected to this. This is all on testnet. Now, do I remember my testnet password? Sign. And the transaction is submitted. So that's on a very high level how you will make your swaps on Minswap. And I'll get into more details when they do launch. I'll do a walkthrough of how the DEX works and everything like that at that stage. But this one I want to concentrate more on the liquidity bootstrapping event that they're going to bring out. So for people who looked into the Sunday Swap taste test, I covered that on the channel here as well. There is lots of similarities in this. And when you look outside Cardano, you look at other chains out there, there's lots of different protocols that are taking this approach as well. Because what it brings into play is protocol-owned liquidity as well. Now we'll get into all of that and what that all means down here. Essentially, Minswap are going to put up 100 million Min tokens. Well, the DAO is going to put this up. And for 10 days, the community can add ADA into this on the other side of that pair. So you can add in ADA or take it out. And then after 10 days, whatever is in that pool, we'll call it, that is going to be converted into the liquidity pool for Min ADA. So the price then is going to depend on how much ADA is put in by the community on the other side of the 100 million Min tokens. So let's go down through it on how it's going to work. So I suppose their big question here was, how do you bootstrap liquidity for a launch? Because liquidity is very important. The more liquidity, this leads to more efficient prices, leads to a better experience for the user. When people are happy with how things work, they get a better experience. They tell more people, and it's kind of the self-fulfilling circle. It's like if people have a good experience, they bring in more people coming in, leads to a better experience as well for other people on the DEX. So if we look down here, the basis, so this is about DeFi 2.0 and how it's bringing about protocol-owned liquidity. So protocol-owned liquidity, it means that the protocol owns its own liquidity. So for the case of Minswap, they would own LP tokens within the Min ADA pair. So if you aren't familiar with this, then again, I will leave a link below to the video I done on yield farming and some of the basics around what that all means as well. But the two main advantages of this are that for the POL, the liquidity is a revenue source for the DAO because of the fees generated from the LP tokens. So when you provide liquidity to an exchange, you earn some of the fees that are generated there as well. So that's great. It will be a revenue source for them. But for me, one of the better long-term, I suppose, advantages of this is this liquidity is sustainable as it is controlled by the DAO and remains in the protocol long-term. So realistically, I don't see a case right now of why they would ever pull that LP out, because that liquidity position being in there owned by the DAO means that it provides a better experience for users and there's more liquidity in there, so there's a better trading experience. So there's no reason for them to pull it out, because the better the trading experience, the more people that will use it, the more fees that are generated as well for LP providers, which they are one of. So let's have a look at the phases and how this is going to work. Very high level, there is the discovery phase, which runs from the 23rd of February to March 10th. This is where they put in the 100 million Min, and then the community can put in ADA into this. So again, as I said at the beginning, the price is going to be set by how much ADA goes into it. So they have put something into this as well, that on the last 2 days of the event, there will be a fee of 25% if you try and pull out the ADA that you've put in. So when you put in during the 10 days, you can put ADA in and out depending on what you want to do, because the more ADA that goes in, the higher the price of Min is going to be. So it might go past the price which you think that Min would be overpriced at that, so you decide to pull out your ADA. So until the last 2 days, you can do that with no fee. On the last 2 days, you would get back 25% less. So be cautious of that. Maybe put some in early on, and then within the last 2 days, have a look at it, see what the price is, and then put in a bit more if you want to at that stage. I would say there is a risk in that as well, is because the likes of myself, I will put some in, but I'll also be watching in the last day. And if I see that the Min token to me is underpriced, then I would be encouraged to put in more ADA into it. But there'll be lots of people doing that, so I would expect, if the price is low on the last day, an inflow of ADA into it at that. So again, there's risks and rewards to be weighed up here. And just on the per ADA, what that is. So when you deposit ADA, you receive in return per ADA. So this is just to represent the ADA that you have put in. The next phase then, so after them 10 days, there's an encounter phase, which runs from March 4th to March 13th. This is just basically where you can swap your per ADA for your LP tokens for the Min ADA pair. Then this here is important, and this is what would encourage me personally to get involved. Again, everything like this carries risk, so everyone needs to assess how much you want to put into a risk like this or what you want to do. I would say you never put everything into something like this because there's lots of risks involved in this, and we will talk about some of them further down as well. So as a bonus on yield farming rewards, so this is for people who get involved in the LBE. So you can see here, to incentivize participation, then there will be a bonus for yield farming rewards from 110% to 200% for the first week of yield farming. So you will get a far better rate than everyone else yield farming on the first week. So this is a big incentive for people to get involved. But again, you need to decide the price that you're paying for Min could potentially be a bit high depending on how much liquidity they actually attract here. So you can see as an example of the price, setting the price, they're putting up 100 million Min. And then if the community put in 20 million ADA, that would mean the price of 1 ADA would equal 5 Min. So 0.2 ADA would be 1 Min. So right now that's somewhere around the price. It's slightly below that on the market. It was above 0.3. It was 0.32 ADA per Min there a few days ago before this announcement came out. When this came out, the reason that the price dropped is because of this event and because there's going to be an inflow of Min tokens into the market as well. With this, 100 million tokens are going to be added in. So if we go down there, they talk more about the examples. You guys can read that if you want. I will put links to this below. So benefits and risks, these are always important to take into account. So it's important to predict it's impossible to predict how the LBE will turn out. So it's impossible to know the price, and the price could change dramatically within the last hour, the last 2 hours of this event as well, because if people see they think it's undervalued, they could be looking to put more in the last day. With the 25% fee on pulling out, there is less risk of people actually pulling out. So really the price can only go up within the last few hours, I would say. So why is this? The benefits of this: fair price discovery and transparency. I suppose, yeah, to a degree this is good, but while the token is already trading, this here isn't just as big a deal as it would be if the token wasn't trading anywhere before this, because the token right now does have a market price. Obviously this here does affect it, and it will all level out once this is finished. Equitable and wide distribution, so it means that lots of people can get involved in this. As many people as want to can come in and get involved in this. Less backlog pressure on the DEX, so it means that people aren't racing in on day one trying to get the Min token, which is good. It means less orders trying to clog up the DEX on day one. And then no front running, so lots of times when something launches, you see a huge spike up and then you see the pullback after that as well. So the disadvantages then are the trust in the Minswap team. So lots of this is happening off chain. So you do need to trust the team if you're going to get involved in this, because they will be handling this. It won't be done on chain. Price volatility, I've talked about this already a bit, with the price changing and even changing right up to the last minute. It's the first time approach, so it's the first time they're doing this mechanism. So with that, it does bring bits of risks as well. They do say they will try it on the public testnet first. Custody of the funds. So implementing on-chain governance on Cardano has proven to be challenging given their mainnet launch time constraint and smart contract limitations. So what they're going to do is they will lock LP tokens in a verifiable open source contract for 6 months. So that means that they can't actually touch the LP tokens that they get for 6 months. And then the DAO Treasury Management contract will be developed during that time. So in summary, 23rd of February to March 4th, that's when you can supply ADA. From March 3rd to March 4th, this is when projects can come in and create their pools. And March 5th, anyone can come in and start providing liquidity. From March 5th to the 13th, this is when you can redeem the per ADA that you got for the Min ADA LP tokens. And on March 8th, that's when mainnet launch happens. That's when the DEX goes live, swapping, providing liquidity, creating pools. That's open to everyone at that stage. March 14th is when yield farming opens, and this will be for whatever pairs they set up. We don't know what the pairs are going to be yet, but Min ADA will definitely be one of them. And for people who get involved in the LBE, there will be a bonus on top of that. So I hope you guys got some value from this. I will put all the links down below that I mentioned here. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe, give the video a like. Let me know below what you want me to cover next, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.